What's up, YouTube? It's Todd Horst here with Tasty Tracker. It's been a crazy couple weeks. The beginning half of last week I was in the hospital, and then the beginning half of this week I was at the beach. That was a vacation that was already planned, and I didn't want to cancel. I didn't feel right telling the kids that they couldn't go. And then also I thought, that might be good for me to relax and catch my breath, which incidentally, the horseflies were terrible at the beach this week, so I didn't get to relax too much. But anyway, I'm back at it. I'm feeling much better. And so the previous video, I talked about how, there are not too many trading styles that you can sit there and just earn money. And this week, I wanted to just take a second and say, there aren't too many trading styles that you can trade on your phone. If you're trying to day trade, that's something that you need a chart or two or three. Definitely better to do it on a desktop or somewhere where you have multiple monitors where you can see maybe you have the futures up and then you have a couple of the symbols you're looking at and waiting for the correct setups, etc. Maybe you're waiting for it to get extended in either direction and you're looking for it to come back to VWAP or something like that. But that's very intensive screen time. With this style, I was able to open up these trades this week. You can see today, closed today on the Pop Shop. 2 positions closed, one in my IRA and one in the small account challenge. And then I opened up 6 positions here on between Monday and Tuesday, just on my phone. I can look at TradingView on my phone, and then I have the app for that, and then I have app for Tastyworks here. And so between those two, I can see sort of my regular indicators that I look at, which is like the 20, the 50-day SMA, MACD, RSI. I like to keep it pretty simple. And then with Tastyworks, I can look at the percentage in the money, etc. And so there's not too many styles that you can trade while you're on the beach. I didn't actually make these trades on the beach. That's totally cheesy when people who's trading on the beach. That would be pretty stupid. But yes, before in the morning or after we came back from the beach, I just took a minute or two to look at some of these stickers that I liked. So just going over both accounts here, which I don't typically do, but Amazon, I had been out of for a bit. They have earnings coming up. Whether or not they smash it, I think it's a good possibility, but I think there's strong support here for that. Microsoft's sort of the same thing. And Lockheed, I haven't been in quite some time. Same with Costco. It's been a minute since I've been in those. And those setups looked good. Goldman Sachs, again, with the finance sector, I have a couple of MasterCard positions on right now, and Goldman Sachs sort of looked like a similar good setup to me. And one other thing is Costco and Lockheed sort of add some diversity to my portfolio. It's been really strong technically recently in the tech industry, which typically I like to be a little bit more diverse than that. Those were just sort of the safe havens that everyone was pouring into during COVID, so that's where I was at. Anyway, and then Shop Auto closed. So yeah, not only could I have a bunch of positions closed while I was in the hospital, but I could put on some more positions to sort of keep the account going while I'm on vacation. Now, it's not like I sat down and stared at the screen. Normally, on any normal given day, I would look at my positions a little bit more, see where they're at as far as percentage in the money, how much they're making. But that's really all just to appease my curiosity, I guess. It's certainly not even necessary. You could totally do this trading style with 10 minutes a day. And if you could do that on your bathroom break if you have a full-time job. And then also, I keep harping on this, it's so time insensitive that you can get into the same positions I get into minutes, hours, many times days after I get into them and still get the same or better pricing. So yes, if you waited 2 weeks, you're not going to get the same pricing I got, especially if it moved in my direction. But a lot of people get hung up on that, and it is sort of a mind shift. If you're thinking about day trading, you're all the time you're anxious, you're paranoid about the where the market's headed. Is it going to be red tomorrow? And with this style, you can sit back and totally concentrate on your actual life and not doing this as your full-time job. At some point in my life, I would like to do this as my full-time job, but this isn't my full-time job. I have a real job, but it's totally could do that. But even then, I think you would get very bored doing this. And then when you get bored is when you're more prone to make mistakes. So this is a style better left for sort of your base income, and then you can gamble on top of that, or you can do other things. I'm in college right now. I've got a family of 4 here. I've got a million pets, and I got a full-time job. I've got rentals. I've got way too many things going on that I can't be staring at the screen every single day. So anyway, okay, so that's the positions for this week. Like I said, typically I reserve the other account for pro members, but that's just some of what I did today, or this week, I mean. Geez, if I could choose the right account. Okay, so here's the small account challenge. This coming month, 23 days, Amazon, MasterCard, Microsoft, and SE. Because we're down to 23 days, you can sort of lower your buyback settings. So what I'm saying here is let's go to Amazon and MA. Typically, like half of that MA position would have been at 87. Okay, so that is still at half. Let's go to Microsoft or SE. Okay, so that one's 50 and Microsoft is 50. So I lowered those down to 50 instead of half, which is what I would typically do. Microsoft half would have been 84 and SE would have been 93. Whew, it's really hot in here. Okay, so yeah, because we're so close, theta is really going to be chipping away at it. And if we go ahead and look at the positions, I'm sitting pretty nicely on all of these for this expiration. Apple is for September. There you go. So they all look pretty nice. Shortcut, sort of, I'm a visual person, so I like to see this graph up here. But if you don't need to see that, you can sort by POP. That's the potential for profit. And we can see 68, 68, 67, 64, and 59. So those are the same things that graph is portraying. The other way you can do it is click on Amazon here. And we'll go into the table, go into the expiration that these are on for August, and scroll up a bit here, and then we can see the percentage and the money. So they all sort of paint the same picture. Okay, so typically I like to have the highest percentage gain at the top, which is SPY, and then I uncheck SPY because those are that's long calls, so they're throwing off my graph. So yeah, so overall for the next 2 months, expiration looks pretty good. Definitely will not be putting anything on for August anymore. And actually, I'm actually sitting at around 3,700. Amazon, did its typical thing where it's jumping all around and then it closed. But that's not actually what this is. I'm not actually down 52%. Okay, so yeah, we can see it's 30, 33, and I sold the 29.50 leg, so that position is definitely fine. Okay, so is there anything else I wanted to say? I guess I'll go over the new position was Apple and Amazon, I think, were the two, or is it Microsoft and Amazon? Yeah, Microsoft and Amazon. So I'll just go over those charts real quick. As you can see, Microsoft's already up 7%, and Amazon, I don't know what that is. I think it's like 10 or 15% up, but we'll go to those charts real quick, and then that'll be it for today. Okay, Microsoft. Okay, so they just had their earnings. I don't like to do things leading up to earnings because it's such a polarizing event. It could totally throw your options off. So if earnings are like in the next 35, 40 days, typically I won't do that. So they had just done their earnings. They had a small beat. The estimate was 134, and they reported 146. So if I pull down the chart, I think we've got really good support down here around 200. And so because I opened up my sold leg at 200, I'm confident that that's the lowest it'll bounce off of. And we can see right now, it's at, where is it? It's at 204. Trading at 204 at the moment. But yeah, I'm not expecting it to go below 200, and in fact, sort of come off of this MACD. The downtrend is losing strength, and I think we'll consolidate. It'll probably be like another week or two. We'll consolidate here, and then we'll get a jump up, and that will be enough to close it out. Okay, so right as I got done saying I typically don't do earnings, Amazon has earnings tomorrow or the next day. And back here, I do have the days to earnings column. Back here, I have held the Apple and MasterCard position for quite some time. So that's why those are there. I would guess that if there's okay to good earnings, that these will close out because of how far along they are in their cycle. Maybe not Apple. And then SE as well. That this the options expire in 23 days and earnings is 20. So I anticipate that position being closed before earnings. So anyway, back to Amazon. That reports in one day. But I'm so bullish on Amazon that I think it was in here in these couple down days. Let's see if I can stretch this out a bit. So I did that on Monday, and the chart is over here. What date was that? 27th. Yeah. So this red candle, the whole way dipped down here, it touched the 20, and I thought maybe we would get a bounce there, or at least consolidate. So yeah, and my leg is the whole way down here at 29.50. Okay, so it's down here around this support level, maybe a hair higher. But anyway, I'm anticipating that they'll have good earnings. Like I said, I order basically everything off of Amazon, especially since the virus hit. And then web services, they have a pretty strong hold on the web services hosting situation, so with AWS. So anyway, I'm really long-term bullish Amazon. If I could just buy hundreds and hundreds of shares of Amazon stock, I probably wouldn't anyway because I don't like stock, but that would be one position I would consider just getting regular stock on because of how bullish I am. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's basically all I wanted to cover. We're getting close to 4,000. I think I'll do like a roundup once we hit about 5 of all the trades with sort of a dashboard look at how long it took to get there, the average profit, average day that I'm in a position, the number of days, and then the win-loss ratio, that kind of stuff. So I'll do a mini dashboard, and then of course when I complete, I'll do the I'll update that to have all of the trades and all of the numbers. So yeah, look forward to that, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.